Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and welcome to a video where I'm going to be reflecting on the WWE in the last 12 months. And it's an idea that's kind of taken off of the wrestling forum. They've got a kind of thread on there where they've got several categories, and we all reflect on who we felt was best suited for each category, i.e. worst segment, best wrestler, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And over this video I'm going to give my thoughts and my opinion on the various categories, basically as we go on. So first off, I'm going to start off with the worst feud of the year, which I'm going to give to Adam Rose against the Bunny. I don't know, I just can't get into this. I mean, it's a guy in a bunny costume. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's dragged on for far too long. Are we going to find out who this bunny is? You know, I suppose it's entertaining for some of the demographics in the wrestling business. You know, some of the, obviously it's more targeted towards a younger audience. So I mean, they're going to find it funny, a guy in a bunny costume. But really, can we just find out who it is and have Adam Rhodes turn fully heel so he can continue his career and work his way up, and whoever ends up being the bunny, hell, good luck to them. After this, we've got the worst segment, and I think we can all agree it was the segment with Kathy Lee Gifford, and I don't even know who the other woman was. I literally paid no attention to this segment. I knew it was going to bomb. I literally just muted it, put it on, and then just went, nah, I'm going to do something else. But I mean, it's just not necessary in the WWE. I mean, I know it was to promote the whole cancer kind of thing, but you're trying not to neglect a lot of your audience at the same time, and I just felt this it's just two middle-aged women getting drunk on you know, it's just not needed, especially when a lot of the target audience again is kids, and this is what you're doing. You're having two very strange women drinking in the middle of the ring, listening to Adam Rose's theme song for the whole segment, which I'm assuming they put there just purely on the basis so people wouldn't boo them. Next up is the biggest disappointment of the year, and I went for CM Punk leaving after the Rumble. I mean, we've heard so much things about CM Punk in the last couple of days with his podcast with Cabana, signing with UFC, but just the fact, like, there was so much we could have got out of CM Punk in 2014, and it was just a shame that this is how it ended in the Royal Rumble with Kane pulling him over the top rope. It would have been nice to see, you know, where it would have went with Kane, and then eventually with Triple H, and basically what 2014 would have had in store with Punk. Would he eventually turn heel? How would he win against Authority? It's all ifs and buts, but it was my biggest disappointment in 2014. Next up is the best finishing move, and for me this year it's got to be the RKO, just purely because of how viral it went with all the vines and whatnot. The RKO out of nowhere certainly gave Randy a bit more popularity, and yeah, I'd definitely go for that. Closer behind it, I'd say the Curb Stomp, maybe even a Red Arrow from Adrian Neville, but I think that'll probably get more documented in 2015 if he eventually does make the main roster. Best babyface, in my opinion, I've went with Daniel Bryan. Reason for that is, we have to remember this, the course of a whole year, and between January and his injury, he was the guy, like, overtaking Raw, occupying Raw, and just the whole feud with him and Triple H at that time was so over. A lot of people say it was the chant, but a lot of time people were going wild for him, and just, you were so determined to see Daniel Bryan succeed at WrestleMania, and we eventually got that, and I've put him down as the best babyface, in my opinion, since wrestling has full opinions. For 2014, the best heel, I went with Stephanie McMahon. I just feel like the 40 was obviously the biggest heel faction in the company. Her and Triple H were the biggest heels, but I just felt she came off as a lot bigger heel than Triple H at times, because like she'd slap somebody and they can't hit her back because she's a woman, but Triple H obviously they can get their revenge on. So I feel this year she really showed how good she is as a heel, and props to Stephanie, man. It was some impressive performances. For the biggest return, I went for the J&J Security. I'm only kidding, although it was really nice to see Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury back on television, albeit in a kind of Stooges capacity as a modern day Briscoe and Patterson. But overall, I've decided the biggest return is, of course, got to be Sting. And just seeing him in the WWE, after seeing him just sitting about in TNA, having to deal with Jeff Hardy incident and stuff like that, but the fact that he came out and made such an impact and had just basically a social media blow up on his debut, it just was so awesome. I finally see him in the WWE, and it'll be interesting to see what he does in 2015. Gimmick of the year, I've went with Mizdow. I was kind of thinking, like, proper gimmicks, you know, like obviously they changed Rusev to a Russian, but it's like foreign heel. It's like he is technically a foreign heel, so it's not really a gimmick as much. Mizdow, it's probably the best gimmick, as I say, just because of the fact he's got himself from basically jobbing every week to kind of like he's more over than the Miz. You know what I mean? They get such a good reaction as the stunt double, and it can only bring good things for Sandow or Mizdow, whatever we're going to call him. But it's reinvented his career a little bit, considering it was going nowhere after losing Money in the Bank. So well, fair play to him, and hopefully that'll come back to help him. I went for best spot next, which, as you can kind of see here, was the match between Evolution and the Shield. And it was Seth Rollins jumping off the Titantron, the crossbody onto everybody. I just felt there was a lot of other kind of spots you could have went for, but I felt this one just for the fact like we hadn't seen anything of this for years. Seth Rollins is the current spot monkey. I mean, I'd rather than do spots as much, you know, because at the end of the day they're having to wrestle how many times a year? It's like 300 times. You've got to look after your body, and one of these spots going wrong can't harm them. But fair play to them for trying it, and I went with Seth Rollins here. Next out is my marking it out part, and that has got to be when Daniel Bryan won the WWE Championships. Basically, we'd waited so long for it, and the fact that he finally got his moment at WrestleMania, the confetti, just the fact it was a storyline that had went so long from, like, we thought he'd won it at SummerSlam and then getting screwed out of that, and then just continually being screwed out of various things. We thought Batista was going to be the main event, which obviously until politics took over, then it was going to be that, and the fact that the whole Rumble shenanigans as well. But the fact is, it all came down to him winning the title, which was just awesome, and I really enjoyed it. It's a shame how the title reign turned out, you know, with his injury. But hopefully 2015 he can regain some of his momentum, and hopefully get back to the top. Most underrated in my opinion, I went with Luke Harper. Because like I know he gets a lot of praise at the moment, he's got a good push, but people don't realise for a big guy how good he is. I mean, like, every time they tangle with Rollins or Ambrose in the 6-man tags, like, he can do some amazing stuff. He is, for a guy that size, just so agile, and it's going to be interesting to see if he does ever make the main event. Like, obviously his character doesn't speak much, but it'll be interesting to see how they develop his character and if it can be a main event type character. But we'll see how it goes. He's got obviously this interesting match at Money in the ladder match, TLC with Dolph Ziggler, and I'm intrigued to see how he does that, because I'm getting a proper singles push, because obviously the last month he was in a stable type thing there for it. So we'll see how he does, but he's got to be the most underrated in my opinion. Most overrated, I got to go with Roman Reigns. It's a strange pick, you know. A lot of people, you know, would say Roman Reigns. A lot of people think Roman Reigns is the next big thing. I don't know. I've never took to him, if I'm honest. Like, great spear, the Superman punch is cool. Like, everybody could probably do that. The thing he does on the outside, the drop kick type thing, pretty cool. But I just, whenever he was in singles competition, looks kind of lost. You know, with the 6-man matches, he was kind of like there for the spear and a couple of moves and all that. But apart from that, done nothing. And well, to be honest, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as Vince gives you that text message saying, remember, make Roman look strong. But apart from that, nah, Roman Reigns for me, most overrated in 2014. Most improved, Seth Rollins for me. I feel like he had a great run, obviously, as a face at the start of the year with the Shield, but we can all tell that he was obviously going to be like the next Jeff Hardy without all the kind of shenanigans in the background. Not a great over face, but wouldn't really do it as a heel. But they took him out of his comfort zone, made him this big heel, sided him with obviously good talkers and all that, so he's obviously learning for them, he'll improve his talking. They're giving him security and stuff like that as well to give him more heel presence, so when he eventually turns face again, he's going to be an even bigger face than initially thought, which could be pretty damn awesome, in my opinion. So I'm going for Seth Rollins as most improved, and I think he can only get better. I mean, let's be honest, if it wasn't for Brock Lesnar going away so often, he would pretty much be WWE champion by now with that cash in for Money in the Bank. So that's interesting. Breakout star, Rusev for me. The fact that these went from obviously debuting at the Rumble, properly debuting at just after Mania, but then coming on, getting in the main event at Survivor Series, still unbeaten, well, hasn't been pinned or hasn't been submitted, getting a lot of heel heat, probably more so for Lana, but you know what I mean, he it's not as if it's just like this monster that can't wrestle and is just getting booed everywhere. The guy can go in the ring. I mean, I enjoy Rusev matches. I mean, he makes the moves look sick. You know, he's got a great super kick and a lot of decent moves for a big man. So definitely it's a breakout star for me is Rusev. Mic worker, nice and simple, was always going to be Paul Heyman. In the WWE, there's not many wrestlers that can cut a promo, and I'm hooked every word. I'll listen to it. You give Paul Heyman a microphone, and I'll listen. You know, he just draws you to him. You know, with his words. In Chicago, talking about CM Punk, you were like drawn to him. When there's Brock Lesnar, you can notice just how big the aura is for Brock Lesnar. It's just like so good, and just the way he just draws so much heat, and it's just amazing. Paul Heyman it's one of the ones he just gets better with age, as he always says. Never looks to the past and all that, just continues to get better. And some of the stuff setting up the Brock Lesnar Cena matches as well was just fantastic. So Paul Heyman was my best mic worker. Because he is an advocate and not a manager, I've given best manager to Lana. Because I feel that as good as Rusev has been in the ring, like for somebody that's pretty much a rookie to the wrestling industry, from what I'm aware, obviously done minor stuff in NXT, Lana has come on very, very strong. You know, like as I said, rookie manager, just amazing how she can draw such heat. I know it's obviously a gimmick it's easy to heat with, but I mean she's done absolutely fantastic. And the fact that they put her in a situation where she was on the mic against The Rock, you know, fair play Lana. So I mean she can only get better. I'll be interested to see if they keep her with Rusev. I like to think they will, but at the end of the day, eventually that is going to get maybe a stale act. But who knows? It could be like Del Rio and Ricardo. She'll maybe go manage somebody else, but you never know. Next up is the best commentator of the year. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Look at these three. Would you pick any of them? You know, I'm going to pick nobody here. I mean, you've got a guy, Jerry the King Lawler, who literally does not care anymore. Comes, gets a paycheck, does nothing. Just, it's so senile. It's just please retire, Jerry. Michael Cole, who he does his best, but I know Vince wants him to tell stories in the ring, but I kind of like him to call the action every so often and maybe put over the talent. And JBL just sits there going, "Back up, Michael." And JBL was good in like his first commentary run, but this time he's just been absolutely woeful. And really, I don't really watch SmackDown, so I've not heard enough of Tom Phillips. I don't watch main events, so I don't have a chance to see Byron Saxton. But I've seen okay stuff from NXT, like Renee Young, Rich Brannon, Alex Riley, Jason Alberts, but yeah, it doesn't fulfill me with a lot of talent, a lot of promise with the talent that is available on the commentary booth. But these three, yeah, not one of them's getting my vote. Segment of the year, we got to go with that WrestleMania 30 segment, just purely in the fact is just the star power, the fact that we never expected to see The Rock, Austin, and Hogan all in the same ring, because we're in the Silver Dome, Superdome, whatever Hogan wants to call it. But no, it was a great promo, a great moment. The fans were just like, holy shit, and it was just awesome in my opinion. So I went with that. Best TV match, I believe this was the day after SummerSlam. If I had to go back and look at the date, but it was the Falls Count Anywhere match between Ambrose and Rollins, and it ended obviously with the Kane interference, and then Seth Rollins putting Ambrose's head through a cinder block allegedly. So I went with that. Obviously that built up towards the Hell in a Cell match, but I just thought it was a good match, you know what I mean, good brawl, and you know when you get these two in the ring, they are always kind of bring it. Best stable, I went with the Authority. There wasn't really many stables, you know, kicking about. I felt the Shield was decent, but the Shield only lasted maybe 4 months of this year, 5 months of the year. But I just feel in terms of heel heat and stuff like that, the fact that it kind of built Seth Rollins over as something, you had Triple H, you had Stephanie on top of your game, you had Kane still in pretty much a main event role at this time. Randy Orton was still doing good, you know, so I was more than happy with the Authority. And obviously they're trying to help elevate some of the talents, although I think the only people they really elevated was Seth Rollins. But there's no many stables in the WWE. The Wyatt family started off well, then they went off TV for a while and then split, so they kind of, you know, they weren't as good as they should have been in my opinion. So I went with the Authority, and again the Wyatt family splitting up is the reason why Tag Team of the Year went to the Usos. Tag Team Champions for most of the year, but obviously the Wyatt family split up too early, so we couldn't put Harper and Rowan. I just don't get what they're doing with Stardust and Goldust, if I'm honest. I'm not a fan of the Stardust character. Fair play for Cody for getting out of his comfort zone and trying it, but it's just not for me. As I say, there isn't really been any tag teams. You could maybe say the Ascension from NXT, but I was going to keep this to WWE. And obviously Miz and Miz don't have me together too long, so I had to go with the Usos. Next up, we have Feud of the Year, and I went again with the Authority against Daniel Bryan. Again, just for that huge payoff we had at WrestleMania. But the fact it just went through the Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, and even after it, just like Triple H just wanted to get the title for Daniel Bryan, and just felt great feud. Obviously, we could say we never got a proper ending with Daniel Bryan's injury, but maybe we did with the yes once the Authority left last month. But overall, I'd say this. Behind it just would be Ambrose against Rollins. I mean, that feud was good. Again, the end of it was a bit sketchy. But overall, yeah, I'm quite happy with that choice. And that moves us on. Obviously, that main event of Daniel Bryan winning the title was at the best show, which of course would have been WrestleMania 30. Obviously, the streak ending as well. Just a quick run through WrestleMania 30 to go over the kind of results. Obviously, the awesome segment at the start where you had obviously Austin and The Rock and that coming out. But I mean, you had good matches. The Fatal 4-Way, the Usos, the Real Americans, Ryback and Los Matadores was good. Daniel Bryan, Triple H. I mean, the fact that Bryan had two big long matches was just amazing. The Shield, Shane only went for 3 minutes against Kane and the Outlaws, but it was a squash match, and with other matches going over, they had to do it. Cesaro winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, the great finish there, slamming Big Show over the top rope. Cena defeating Bray Wyatt, sorry. It was good it went for 20 odd minutes, but I don't think the right man won. Lesnar ending the streak at 25-12, just the reaction of the crowd after that match was like, holy crap, what, just amazing. It was just awesome. And I suppose for another video there, I think the streak should have ended there, but you know, just the fact that, just the shock in the crowd, I just felt what an occasion, what a moment, and it really would signify such a massive moment happens at such a big event, you know. AJ Lee beating Naomi, again, kind of to be expected, and then Daniel Bryan. We all thought it wasn't going to happen. We thought that title was on Batista, but they finally pulled the trigger, and just 23 minutes in, they finally put the title on Daniel Bryan, so I was delighted with that. Match of the year, I went with the Wyatt family against the Shield at the Elimination Chamber. You know, when you get these 6 guys in the ring, you're always going to get a good match. Every 6-man they had in Raw was good, but being at the pay-per-view was just that one step better. Next up we have the Diva of the Year, and I went with Paige because AJ has kind of really just been meh this year. It's like she's dominated the division, but at the same time she's been meh. Brie Bella, good in ring, absolutely awful on the mic. Nikki Bella, the complete opposite, terrible in the ring but really good in the mic. I've went with Paige purely on the basis of she get thrown into the WWE, the Raw after WrestleMania, the 22-year-old, or maybe even 21 I think she might have been. No idea she was going to debut, and she was expected to be prepared. She wins the title, she's straight in the roster, and she's had to deal with it, which, I mean, for somebody at that age, you got to say, yeah, Diva of the Year for me. And I finish it off with my Wrestler of the Year, and I've went Seth Rollins. Again, just I think everything he's done this year, the fact he's won Money in the Bank, but it was more so just the fact every match you get with Seth Rollins is going to, you know, there will be certain matches, there will be spots and all that, but every match is fairly decent. It's usually a good 3-4 star match. I don't usually rate matches, but usually know when he's wrestling you're going to get a good match. He's improving in the mic, and as I say, this whole heel run has just added a complete new dimension to his character, and it's given him, you know, it's just like taking away his comfort zone, but it's going to improve him a million times as a performer. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, it was something different, but just with the Wrestling Forum putting it up and with the Slammies coming up, I thought it was a good idea to do it. And yeah, I'm quite happy with it, what I think. If you guys like the video, please leave a like and please comment on it, guys. Let me know what you think, you know. I'm not going to do it at CM Punk and say, oh, you disagree with me, then fuck you. But if you completely disagree, please put your choices in the comments section. If you completely disagree, give your reason why. You know, I'm all open to opinions, guys. That's what this is all about. And until next time, guys, this is Twitter Maxwell. Take it easy, and I'll speak to you all real soon. Bye bye.